We are continuing to follow a breaking story.
One of the schools hardest hit by June's historic flooding returns.
Election coverage 2017 starts right now.
We began tonight with breaking news.
Now, the remnants of Florence are continuing to cause problems all across the Commonwealth.
Just over an hour ago, a tornado hit in Midlothian in Chesterfield County. Oh, wow. This is video from John Guth of the touchdown on Hall Street near the courthouse. You can see it ripping the roof off of this building.
And again is not too far from downtown Richmond. Here in our region, from Southside to Salem, parts of our area have dealt with pretty significant flooding. You've been sending us dozens of pictures of the flooding that you have been seeing, and our crews have been scouting out the region as well. We're going to check in with our live crews in just a few minutes.
But first, we're watching for severe weather across parts of the region. Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Jeff Hanowich joins us now with the forecast. So Jeff, are we watching for anything specifically right now?
Yeah, we're watching.
The National Weather Service this afternoon has significantly lowered its river flood projections for the Dan River at all points, including Danville. Moderate flooding is now expected in Danville. 10 News reporter Arisha Jones is live there with the very latest. Arisha?
From what we've been able to see here air, reporting live in Danville, Arisha Jones, 10 News, working for you.
Well, the effects from the Roanoke River extended into Montgomery County, where more roads were closed. 10 News reporter Tommy Lopez is live there with more on what some people have been dealing with near Shawsville today. Tommy?
Yeah, we're here
working for you.
A lot of the emails and pictures we've gotten from you have been from flooding in Salem, like this one from Dave Spitaleri. 10 News anchor Brittany McGraw joins us now live with a look at some of those problem spots. Brittany?
I'm Brittany McGraw, 10 News, working for you.
And we're still keeping an eye on the remnants of Florence as they continue to cause some issues. You can track that and more with us on the Storm Team 10 weather app. It has everything from a hurricane tracker to your daily outlook and also planning your week with the 7-day forecast. It is free in your phone's app store. Our live team coverage continues now. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm John Carlin.
And I'm Brittany McGraw. Tonight, we're continuing our live team coverage across the region after devastating storms ripped through on Sunday. Already, the National Weather Service has confirmed that at least 2 tornadoes touched down when the storms came through. One in Craig County. That was categorized as an EF1 tornado. Another tornado touched down in Amherst County.
Storm Team 10 meteorologist Alan Auglis is here with us right now. Alan, that Amherst County tornado was an EF2. When we talk about an EF2, what does that mean?
We're learning more tonight about the damage Sunday's severe storm caused in Danville and Pittsylvania County.
Yeah, meteorologists from the National Weather Service surveying the damage today. 10 News reporter Colter Anstead is live tonight at Reuben's Restaurant in Danville because that's one of the survey locations. Colter, what are you learning? What are they finding out today?
Working for you.
It's a totally different weather scene in the Midwest. People there are digging out from record snowfall. Neighbors in Carlsville, Wisconsin had to dig out from more than 31.5 inches of snow. Crews had to use heavy equipment to clear the snow. Some say they couldn't believe just how much snow they saw.
It's been absolutely crazy. I feel like we knew it was coming. We just didn't know how hard it was going to hit.
Now to Hawaii, where several islands are dealing with flooding. More than 150 people have been airlifted out of flooded neighborhoods. Even California took a ride on the spring weather roller coaster. In Oakland, hail came down on homes, cars, and streets. Well, after a rocky start to the week, we could be heading toward warmer weather. Storm Team 10 meteorologist Alan Auglis is back after the break with a look at the rest.
Now to breaking news in Roanoke. Police and federal authorities are on the scene of a deadly shooting on the Blue Ridge Parkway. 10 News reporter Allison Wickline is near the scene with the very latest details. Allison?
Well, we are on the Parkway right assistance from Roanoke County, and we'll continue to follow this story on air and online. Live in Roanoke, Allison Wickline, 10 News, working for you.
But first, we begin with breaking news. Police have issued a missing endangered child alert for a Virginia teenager.
Chilhowie police say this girl, 15-year-old Paige Allen, is missing. She is believed to be in danger.
She was last seen in the town of Chilhowie. If you have any information, please contact police.
Now to a story we've been following for you all day. A local nonprofit gets to stay right where it is after a decision by Roanoke County officials tonight. An appeal was filed over years-old zoning for the Southwest Virginia Wildlife Center of Roanoke.
But the county argued that the appeal essentially lacked merit, and then the board agreed. That means the Wildlife Center will not have to move. 10 News reporter Shane Dwyer joins us in the studio tonight. Shane, you were one of about 150 people there tonight.
Yeah, John and Lindsay, a packed house.
Again tonight with breaking news.
In a world of pure imagination.
Beloved actor Gene Wilder has passed away. Many remember him playing Willy Wonka in the 1971 film, one of my favorites. Wilder also starred in a number of Mel Brooks movies, including Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. His family says he died from complications due to Alzheimer's. Gene Wilder was 83 years old. And now to our top story this evening. For more than a year, 13 News has been working for you to get some dangerous bus routes changed. Well, today, those new routes went into effect. A total of 5 buses no longer running on busy McCorkle Avenue in Canal City. Instead, they'll pick up and drop off students on side streets. Some parents tell us they haven't let their students ride.
Well, the polls have closed, the results are in, and we've got them all for you. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm John Carl.
And I'm Lindsay Ward. The Commonwealth tonight has a new governor-elect. Virginia's lieutenant governor will be moving up into the governor's mansion.
Democrat Ralph Northam has defeated Republican challenger Ed Gillespie with just over 50% of the vote.
10 News reporter Jessica Jewell joins us now live from Fairfax, where
Thank you, Jessica. Of course, after a hard-fought battle, former lobbyist Ed Gillespie conceded shortly after Ralph Northam was projected as the governor-elect. Just hours ago, the Republican said that he had called the lieutenant governor to congratulate him on his victory. 10 News reporter Rob Manch joins us now from Richmond, where Gillespie spoke to a room full of supporters. Rob.
Democrat Justin Fairfax, he is elected lieutenant governor tonight, beating out Republican Jill Vogel. A tight race from the very beginning. Fairfax won with just about 130,000 more votes than Jill Vogel. Now, with this win, Fairfax becomes only the second African American to hold statewide office in the Commonwealth. This is the first public office Fairfax has ever held. And Attorney General Mark Herring's win gives Democrats a clean sweep for big seats on the ballot. Herring will keep his job at Attorney General, defeating challenger John Adams. The third of 3 very close races. Herring won with just a little over 50% of the vote. And as we've been saying all night, it was a clean sweep for the Democrats across the ballot in the biggest races here in the Commonwealth. Even President Trump has weighed in on the gubernatorial race. 10 News anchor John Carlin is joined by political analyst Dr. Ed Lynch with a breakdown. John?
A little bit, but right
Sounds
now,
good.
Send it back to Lindsay.
Thank you, gentlemen. Another closely watched race here in our area, the battle for the 12th district seat in the Virginia House of Delegates. Democrat Chris Hurst defeats incumbent Republican Joseph Yost. It's a race that saw record-breaking campaign funds in the New River Valley and a lot of media attention. 10 News reporter Tommy Lopez joins us now live from Blacksburg, where Hurst just spoke to his supporters. Tommy?
As Tommy mentioned, Republican Joseph Yost has conceded that race. Yost had held the 12th district seat since 2011. 10 News reporter Arisha Jones joins us live from Giles County. That's where Yost gave his concession speech tonight. Arisha, bring us up to date. Very quiet behind you.
The fight for the 8th District House of Delegates is over. Republican incumbent Greg Habib has been reelected with more than 60% of the vote. Habib defeated Democrat Steve McBride. McBride has never before run for elected office, but won his primary race by a wide margin. We spoke with Delegate Habib tonight after his victory. He said the focus of his campaign was always on how to help local families, and he's ready to get back to work.
Anytime that you put yourself out there for the voters and you carry a message and they respond so favorably, it's obviously very uplifting, and it's really humbling to get to go back to Richmond and continue to serve the people of the New River and Roanoke Valleys.
The 8th District, which includes Salem, Craig County, and parts of Roanoke and Montgomery counties, has been a Republican stronghold.
In the race for the 7th District, Representative Republican Larry Rush faced off against Democrat Florette Kettner. Rush will take the seat in the House with 66% of the votes, meaning that he defeated Kettner with a margin of almost 2-1. Rush has been a member of the House since 2012.
In the 17th District, Republican Chris Head took on Democrat Juna Osborne. Had won with 60% of the vote, meaning he will keep the seat he has held since he was originally elected back in 2011.
Let's look at the 23rd district. Democrat Natalie Short went head-to-head with Republican T. Scott Garrett and lost. Garrett, the incumbent, will keep his seat with 65% of the vote. The former Lynchburg City Council member has served in the House since 2010.
And in the last House district race in our area, incumbent Republican Ben Klein took on challenger independent John Winfrey. Klein will keep his seat representing the 24th district after winning with a little more than 70% of the votes. This election will be the 9th time he has won a seat in Virginia's House of Delegates.
And of course, results are still coming in for many of the races across our area. We'll have more of your election coverage coming up after the break. And tonight, powerful acts of kindness from the Las Vegas massacre are points of light in the darkness of all the chaos.
One bartender who stayed to comfort a dying man, a husband who died to save his wife, a couple who helped evacuate the wounded. Dozens of first responders who were both on and off duty working together to save countless lives.
And tonight we have for you just a few of the stories of those who came together amidst the horror, shows of love and selflessness. First of all, as the gunfire began, Brian Hopkins, the lead singer of a band who regularly performed in Vegas, says that he knew he needed to take action. The singer noticed a large walk-in freezer backstage near the catering station where he and his bandmates were enjoying the concert. Hopkins says when he heard the gunfire and saw two people go down right in front of him, he noticed the freezer.
So I helped everyone out that I could inside this cooler. And it was literally a freezer, but it was the size of a trailer. So we opened up the door and just started lifting people up into the thing. It was about 5 feet off the ground.
Hopkins helped over 24 people get inside that freezer. He says many inside worked to calm others down while they waited for the gunfire to stop. And then once it did, he and others rushed to help get other people over the fence and out of harm's way.
25-year-old Jordan McIldoon of Maple Ridge, British Columbia, was one of the 59 people killed in Sunday's mass shooting at the concert. Heather Goose says she stayed with him as he died in her arms. She was working as a bartender at the festival.
I was there until about 3:30 in the morning, so for about 4 hours, I was sitting with him. I didn't want him to be there alone. There was another guy that was by us. His wife had been shot and killed, the mother of his 3 kids, and he never left her side. And I didn't want Jordan to not have somebody with him.
Jordan was at the concert with his girlfriend who survived the shooting. Heather talked to her on the phone from Jordan's side, but she was not allowed back into the area. Jordan's parents say he was a construction mechanic apprentice and was about to start trade school in Canada.
And another man gave his life for love. 29-year-old Sonny Melton of West Tennessee became one of the victims. The registered nurse was protecting his wife, Heather. She says that he grabbed her and started running when the bullets began to rain down.
He loved her. I think it was just second nature to him to do something like that.
And says she wants to know what a kind and loving man her husband was.
Video of shooting survivors asking a couple to use their truck to transport people wounded in the Las Vegas shooting went viral on Facebook Monday. Lindsay Pageant and Mark J. were trying to leave the Route 91 Music Festival when they encountered people helping victims. They loaded several wounded people onto the truck and met up with an ambulance while trying to get to the hospital. Jay talked about helping transfer victims from the bed of his truck to that ambulance.
He's just alive. They're like he's gone. We put him down. Picked up a girl, put her in, another guy that had gunshot wounds in his chest. His fingers were literally holding in from the blood coming out. And then, yeah, they're like, just put that kid down. And I was like, I can't leave him here. So we threw him in the back of the truck.
Many have been calling Pageant and Jay heroes for helping transport the victims. They say they just did what they had to do.
And now the kindness continues as across the nation, hundreds donating money, time, and goods. And even today, people were waiting for hours in line to give blood to help the hundreds of victims.
More than 24 overdoses in a small Connecticut park in just a matter of minutes. First responders converge on the scene this morning where roughly 30 people were treated and taken to the hospital. Right now, police are waiting on test results to find out what that substance was that caused such a dangerous reaction. They think it was synthetic marijuana called K2 that was laced with something.
Narcan didn't appear to have an effect initially. Higher concentrations of it used in the emergency room proved effective.
The fire chief says his department responds to these types of calls every day, but they've never seen so many overdoses in such a small period of time.
One of the schools hardest hit by June's historic flooding returns to defend their home gridiron.
We are now just 30 minutes away from kickoff on the field at Herbert Hoover High School. June's flooding, of course, causing more than $12 million in damage after water ripped through the school building in Clendenin. Hoover students are currently on a split schedule with students at Elkview Middle School, but it's not stopped the football team. The Huskies dominated in their last two games at Scott and Chapmanville. For a while, the team wasn't even sure they were going to be able to have a home game this year. With the support of their community and some generous donors, the field is back to playing condition.
And right now, 13 News reporter Eric Halperin is live at the field in Clendenin with the latest on what this game means to a community that has come so far and come together after losing so much. Right, Eric?
Right wing, number 9.